Hi everyone, my name is Praveen and I'm recording this video from Melbourne, Australia. Thank you for taking time to review my video on this learning artifact that I'm going to showcase. It's about my year 9 game development students who had a project to complete over 20 weeks. I see them 2 times a week, and they had to create a game by first understanding the history of game development, um, do some analysis, the application design and analysis, followed by learning how to use the software, which was Microsoft Make Code, followed by development and then evaluation. And I'm going to showcase some of their work and how they use their Microsoft tools along the way. So those are the 5 areas we covered in our assessment tasks. Um, and as you will see alongside, I've also coded them for their 21st century CLD skills. So in the first task for the history of computer games, students had to analyze um, history of games, so showcase popular games. How did games evolve over time? What kind of games made it big, and what kind of games are making it big right now? What consoles are in the market right now? Um, there wasn't a lot of knowledge construction there, um, but there was a bit of ICT work, a little bit of collaboration because they had to um, share and review their knowledge with each other and discuss while researching. And they had a good time doing so because they had an opportunity to enjoy and talk about the games they played when they were younger. This task was done in Microsoft PowerPoint. Some of them chose to do it in Microsoft Word. Um, the next task was the design and analysis. In this task, students had to come up with the analysis for a game that they proposed to make. This was based on a survey that they sent out using Microsoft Forms and collect some data from game players and find out what kind of games they like and enjoy playing the most. Part of this review, part of the analysis was also creating the storyboard and getting some feedback from their peer review. So the last point there, it's a fairly high chunk of marks for reviewing their work. Again, this was done on Microsoft Forms, and the analysis was then carried out in Excel. Um, so you'll see that the work was the storyboard was hand drawn by some students. Some of them chose to do um, the drawing on Microsoft Paint, but hand drawing was just giving them a lot more opportunities to do it. And then the storyboarding, the actual guidelines for the actual game was done in Microsoft Word. Following that, they moved on to the third unit, which was where they actually learned how to use the software Microsoft MakeCode. Um, and here they had to choose 8 games that they could, you know, create and learn how to use the simulator, how to build the blocks up, how to create procedures, functions, how to add logic and conditionals and loops, and create simple graphics for the games and so on. So they used the templates on MakeCode for this task. There was no new knowledge being constructed, but they had to recreate that knowledge along with their peers. Um, Again, a low scoring on self-regulation, not not very time bound activity. It was some students did sooner than the others and so on. Um, so they use Microsoft Make Code for this task. The next task was the develop game, which was the longest unit or subunit of this task, which was where they actually designed or developed the game from the storyboard. So this is an example of one student's game. So I was testing it out, and that's on the right is the marking scheme, of course. So students had to create the animation, the graphics for the game. So here there's just a simple bird, a toucan trying to fly through the clouds and the trees, and if it touches anything, it just the game's over. So here the students use Microsoft Make Code. And finally, the testing and evaluation phase. Now here students have used um, the for Microsoft Forms again, um, and they've used Excel for the analysis, and finally a Word for writing the report up. So first they sent out the form and collect some data. So the form results came back, and they had some basic questions on there, things like what do they like about the game, and give it a star rating from 1 to 5. What were the things that they didn't like, and how could they improve it, and what kind of like how much money would someone pay for their game if they had to buy it on the interweb. So um, Yeah, that was a good analysis for students to do it on forms and collect the data on Excel and view it as different types of graphs. Students then went on to produce a little report. So you'll see the report up next, um, which is just a write up on the like how the analysis happened and what was their reflection of the analysis and whether the game was difficult, easier, or medium hard, and the rating scales as well. So that's just an overview of how all the different Microsoft tools we used.